Back to another code recollection. Last time we took a look around Wells's room, but we're missing 2 of these plates, and now we're gonna go looking outside the room to try and find them. Before I leave the room, though, there is a DAS update. Shows Wells was employed. I'm sure Wells, with his organization and natural cleanliness, was a great butler. It also seems like he was a kind person, who treated Dee just as well as the adults. It must have been a lot of work to take care of a house as big as this one, though. It also seems like Wells was pretty careful about who came into his room. Maybe because he had keys to the rest of the rooms in there. He was a devoted guy. Yeah, just wait until we find out that he did the deed. And that's how it goes, right? The butler did it. There is a spoof comedy of that name, The Butler Did It. And I wasn't in the production in high school. I didn't get the role, but I was. Oh, I can unlock this door from this side. Hooray! Must connect back to somewhere. Oh, the drawing room. Maybe there's a plate back in here. Anyway, I was more behind the scenes. I was lighting and producer on our show of The Butler Did It. That was neat. Not often you get producer credit. Ah, look at what's on this table. You thought it was an ashtray, but we know better now.
Ashley.
Something about this ashtray.
Huh?
What about it?
Hey.
Try brushing it off. Sure, okay. Brushing away the cigarette butts and ashes revealed a beautiful bird in relief.
Oh.
What's this? Thought so. This ashtray is from the butler's room. Flying bird. Now we have a quick way back. So, logic to me dictates that something in the art studio also fits the bill. Got one from the drawing room, one from the butler's room. Well, one hidden in the butler's room, one that was already present in the butler's room. Anything here? I think it was on this table. Yes. There's some chocolate on a silver plate.
Dee. Yeah.
That's a piece of the tableware set Wells loved.
All right.
I should put it back where it belongs. Huh, there's something... Picture was left under the silver plate.
This is... That's... She's...
Ooh, our turn for a flashback.
Hurry, Ashley. Hide. Right. I remember who said that. It was Mom.
The woman in the photo is your mother? That must mean the baby is...
Yeah. It's me. This must be Dad's photo.
We got an update. Mom died when I was 3. I know she was a scientist like Dad, but what kind of person was she really? Jessica says I have Mom's eyes, but I don't remember anything about her at all. I was told my dad died along with my mom, so if he's alive, maybe she is too? I'd love to see her again. I want to know everything about her. I feel like that's the same description we had. Oh, it's updated with the picture. Okay, I'm being silly. We didn't have a portrait. Now that we've actually seen her face and recognized her, now it's... Hey. Well, in case you forgot what the description of our mom was. Back to the butler room. I'm sure we have a mini puzzle involving the exact order these plates need to be in. So first I'll just put the other 2 plates anywhere. Oh, wait, that one didn't... Okay, so... He said the plates need to be lined up, and these 2 triggered some sort of mechanism and now they've fallen down. Ah, so that means I actually got this placement right on the first try. Go me. I winged it. Get it? Win it. Birds on the plates.
What? This was some sort of puzzle all along?
Well, yeah.
Look, there's something in there.
Huh?
I wonder what's inside.
Huh?
What's this?
Um...
Is this a map of the mansion?
Huh. What?
Something written on the space for this room. Try looking at the map with the L button.
How about this?
I should make notes of interesting things I find. Okay, so I have a note about where we found Jessica's glasses. Well, you can see how everything sorta connects. And it's showing 2 different elevations on this. Like, the drawing room was 1st floor, and then we're on the 2nd floor. I can zoom in. Yeah, R17, L2, R7, L25. Oh yeah, there are little animations. Or at least the part that we, at least Ashley is. Maybe something else will move in the future. At least the motion would draw you to your current location as a good little measure of you are here. Anyway, I'm sure that's the safe combination. $17, 2, 7, 25.
Hey. D.
No.
Hmm.
$17. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I was treating the numbers as the number of notches that I needed to turn it. But I'm guessing I have to turn it to those numbers instead. I suppose that's how a combination lock works. It's been a long time since I've used one. Okay, so the combination was 17. 2. 7. 25. I think I got my left and right backwards. Because I was viewing this as left. Because I feel like it's turning to the left. But then maybe this is left. 17. 2. Wait a minute, I'm getting the numbers mixed up. I should have just written this down.
How about...
I have a pen and paper right here. I thought I would just kind of remember it because it was only 4 things. 17, 2, 7, 25. Right, left, right, left.
Ashley.
17. 2. 7. 25. There we go. Also, I did have it right the first time. When they said rate 17, they meant use the R button to get to
The
17.
safe is unlocked.
They can just go by the button names.
Well done, Ashley.
Okay, let's see.
This is...
Yes, a key. 2 keys, as a matter of fact. Now we can get into those locked rooms.
At least some of them. Flower key and a 3-leaf clover
What's this
key.
notebook?
Wells must have written it.
It does say Wells's diary. I mean, like, how do you get your name on the cover like that? Like, how much did... I know it was a rich family and all, but, like, you must have to shell out for that. Especially back in 1916. We finally learned of Master Leonard's whereabouts, but it was too late. He had already succumbed to the epidemic. It has been decided that Mr. Edward will take in the 2 children he left behind. Mr. Edward has ordered new rooms to be prepared for the young children. He calls the rooms the Golden Bird Room and the Silver Bird Room. 1930. The 2 boys have long since outgrown me. They are now strapping young men. Masters Thomas and Henry have entered the same university. Master Henry so wise and strong, Master Thomas sweet and honest. I'm sure Mr. Edward is indescribably proud of their growth. Now there is no longer a concern about finding a successor. 1936. Masters Henry and Thomas both marry. December 1943. The dreaded day has finally come. Masters Henry and Thomas are both headed to the battlefield. The war has intensified, and both young men were called to the front lines. When I think about how Mr. Edward must feel, I am speechless. I can only pray for their safety. September 1945. The long-awaited day has arrived. Both young masters have come home. The joy I feel to have them return alive is unparalleled. They return, however, bearing grave wounds to the body and soul. Master Henry locks himself in the art studio, gazing endlessly at the pieces he once painted. He even struggles with daily matters, such as eating. Mr. Edward has keenly observed that help is needed and has arranged for Henry to stay on the island with his family. After staying with us for several days, Master Thomas returned to his home on the mainland. He conducted himself with his customary positive manner, but I could sense something like a dark cloud in his countenance. I cannot possibly understand their feelings, but I pray they can rest and become well soon. 1946. Mr. Edward prepared his last will and testament. 1948. Mr. Edward is taken ill. What have I done? If only I hadn't written that letter and called them to the island. But no matter how I repent, those days will never return. It's all my doing. The fault is mine alone. But perhaps, one day, a descendant of the Edward family will return. Should that happen, I will leave a set of blueprints in my drawer. I hope they are found and provide some use. I pray that the souls of Mr. Edward and the others rest peacefully for eternity.
This Mr. Edward must have been your great-grandfather, Dee.
You're probably right.
Henry and Thomas. If they were brothers and they were Lawrence's grandchildren... Dee? You alright?
Henry, enough already. What are you trying to say, Thomas?
I just remembered something. Back then, Uncle Henry called my father Thomas.
Thomas? Your father's name is Thomas!
So D is for descendant, in addition to deceased.
Dee, that's great! You remembered your dad! Franny's father is Henry. Dee's father is Thomas.
I was right, they're cousins. I think I said they were cousins. It's been a while.
Henry and Thomas were brothers. They died on this island in the same year. I wonder what happened. Dee looks so upset. He's probably wondering the same thing.
Alright, let me check for DAS updates. Wow, a bunch of them. Oh man, look at how the chart is coming together now. We got Thomas, Dee's parent. Thomas's father died when he was little, and he grew up in the mansion with Henry. Reading Wells's journal helped Dee remember that Thomas was his father. He didn't seem very happy with the memory, though. In his journal, Wells wrote that Thomas was sweet and honest. I get that was true when he was a kid. When he didn't live in the mansion anymore and his grandfather got sick, he brought Dee to visit. I guess the sweet part of him never changed. Henry's father died when he was little, so he grew up in the mansion with Thomas. In his journal, Wells wrote that Henry was wise and strong, and Henry was also a super talented artist. I'll bet Franny was proud to have him as a father. Thomas and Henry's father is Leonard. Wells wrote in his journal that Leonard died of an illness. He must have felt terrible leaving his kids orphaned when they were so little. Wells also mentioned that they finally learned of his whereabouts, so I guess Leonard left the island at some point and didn't tell them where he was going. I don't know what happened with Leonard, but it seems like Lawrence took his sons in and raised them well, so I'm glad for that. Any other changes? Alright, and we have an update to our inventory, the flower design. And the 3-leaf clover key. I think we'll be using those soon.
Hey.
Let's use the key we got from the safe to get into Franny's room.
Yeah.
Our room's on the second floor, isn't it? Up, 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 up. Has the map updated with the fact that we got the keys? And it shows me Franny's room. Still shows lock symbols on these doors. Yeah, that would be the flower key, but then there's also this door down here. Is there anything stopping me from using this key first?
All right. Does this spark any memories?
This is... Yes, Ashley. I remember something. This room belonged to Franny's parents.
Alright, let's raid the parents' room first. The bottles and glasses are all covered in dust. I wonder if the stuff is okay to drink. I mean, I don't know if it's okay for a girl your age to drink, actually. The fireplace poker is just lying out. Did someone forget to put it back? Wow, you could actually sit on a big chair in front of the fireplace, like in a movie.
Huh.
How long has this old clock been stuck like this? There's an open letter beside the book on the table.
Hey.
It's all crumbled up. Must have made someone angry.
Yeah?
I wouldn't want to be that letter. Good thing you're the letter D. Let's see what it says. You've gone and upset a lot of people with this. The workers here just don't get it, and neither do I. We put our blood, sweat, and tears into working Lawrence mine round the clock. What are we getting in return? Fired, the lot of us, and kicked off the island. The old president would have at least tried to work something out with us, like always. But now this new guy gets to stroll in and shut us down with a single sheet of paper? We'd like a sit-down with the new president, or at least owed an explanation. Robert Martin, worker representative. It's a letter from the people who are working in the mine. Who's this new president?
No.
I have no idea. I wonder if they all sat together and watched TV here. This TV is ancient. I've never seen one like this. Scan number 5. Alright, scan number 4 is probably in Franny's room then, because they were trying to get me to go there first anyway. So maybe I'll hold off on reading that. I did end up reading number 3 before I read number 2, but... You know, now I know a little better. This bed is huge. There's easily room for 2 adult-sized people to share it. It's almost like that's how some marriages work. Not all of them, mind you. To each their own. Some people prefer to have separate beds. There are a lot of books in here, but they all look complicated and boring.
Huh.
With a pitcher this big, you don't have to refill the water as often. Was someone in the middle of this book? I wonder how long it's been sitting here. Like time has just stopped in this place for decades. The bed is neatly made, but obviously not been used. Oh, that's a neat little picture up there. Any skeletons in here? It's empty. Did they just pack everything up when they left the island? It's really rusty. You can't even see the cute flower design. There's a dresser with a 3-sided mirror. For a second, I thought we'd have to find a key to open that.
There's a doll.
Gee, look at this doll.
Oh my god, he is the doll.
This
T
doll's
is for
made of
doll.
wood. I think it's a woman. I wonder who it's supposed to be.
I just remembered something.
What's that?
Franny made this doll.
Wow, she made this herself? Impressive.
You're Franny's creation?
This doll must be Franny's mother.
This a letter? Dear Henry, this is farewell. Having lost not only your beloved grandfather, but others so dear to you in such a short time, I'm sure you are consumed by a grief deeper than I can understand. I believe that Franny and I could heal your heart, but you have changed since sealing yourself off in the Silver Bird Room. I saw how you threw the sprout key into the fountain. You spend every day confined in your room, lost in a bottle of alcohol and terrified of an unseen force. You seem to have lost your will to live. Even Franny is frightened by how long it's been since you picked up a pencil or paintbrush. And yet, you still refuse to leave the room. I can no longer see your heart, Henry. I'm taking Franny, and I'm leaving the island. I'll never forget how deeply I loved you. Marie.
Who's Marie?
Franny's mama.
Oh,
Why do you look so sad?
well, this is a goodbye letter. I don't know what happened between her mom and dad, but I'm sure Franny wanted them all to stay together. That's why I'm sad.
Ashley.
It would seem there was nothing else to look at on the dresser, because they're not letting me go back to it. Alright, well, to be fair, the game did tell me to go to Franny's room, and I deliberately disobeyed and came to her parents' room first. But we found some interesting stuff in here, and we'll go to Franny's room on the next Another Code Recollection.